And so today, I can announce that Cabinet has agreed we will now move to level 1 to get our economy fully open again, and we will start almost immediately. We move down to COVID-19 alert level 1 from midnight tonight. With over 100,000 new cases being reported each day, the challenge of COVID remains around the globe, and so it remains here. We are not immune to what is happening in the rest of the world. But unlike the rest of the world, not only have we protected New Zealanders' health, we now have a head start on our economic recovery. That's because at level 1 we become, if not the most open, one of the most open economies in the world. Oxford University publishes a government response stringency index ranking countries from 0 to 100 in terms of their level of restrictions. Before today's move to level 1, New Zealand was at 33.3, while Australia, for example, was at 62.5. We were already nearly twice as open as they were. The Reserve Bank's analysis shows the economy under level 1 is expected to be operating just 3.8% below normal levels. That's an improvement from the estimated 8.8% below normal levels under level 2, 19% below normal levels under level 3, and 37% under level 4. At level 1, we expect the continuation of recovery. After all, at level 1, we can hold public events without limitations. Private events such as weddings, functions and funerals without limitations. Retail is back without limitations. Hospitality is back without limitations. Public transport and travel across the country is fully opened. This freedom from restrictions relies, though, heavily on the ongoing role that our border controls will play in keeping the virus out. But we must remain mindful of the global situation, the harsh reality that the virus will be in our world for some time to come. We are confident we have eliminated transmission of the virus in New Zealand for now, but elimination is not a point in time. It is a sustained effort. We almost certainly will see cases here again. And I do want to say that again. We will almost certainly see cases here again. And that is not a sign that we have failed. It is a reality of this virus. But if and when that occurs, we have to make sure, and we are, that we are prepared. That's the reason our borders remain our first line of defence, as we aim not to import the virus. Borders remain closed, indeed, at 15 of our 17 comparable countries as well. Our managed isolation and quarantine at the border will continue, and it will be as important as ever as we know this is a potential pathway. I know that having such a firm sight on success for so long has sometimes made the road we've taken seem longer and the steps we've taken seem more laboured. At every step there have been those who have pushed us to do something different, to go faster or further, but our collective results, I think, speak for themselves. That caution and hard work got us down the mountain safely when the descent is always the most perilous part. Moving to level 1 now is the dividend for everyone's hard work for now. But we need our team of 5 million for the next phase, and that is to get New Zealand moving again. As we move from the collective call to action to unite against COVID-19 to unite for recovery. I encourage you to buy, play and experience New Zealand Made to get our country moving again. Consider it an extra form of support to visit our country, to buy our local products and to support our local businesses. While we're in a safer, stronger position, there's still no easy path back to pre-COVID life. But the determination and focus we have had on our health response will now be vested in our economic rebuild. And so while the job is not done, there is no denying this is a milestone. So can I finish with a very simple thank you, New Zealand?
Just 3 things I'd like to say. First of all, it's obviously very satisfying that not only do we have no new cases and haven't had any for 17 days, but we also have no active cases in New Zealand. And no, we haven't been saving that up. We found out about that yesterday afternoon. As you know, the cut-off for our cases is at 9 o'clock each day. it's a coincidence, but I think a nice and timely coincidence. The second point I want to make is that, and like the Prime Minister, I want to thank people who have worked so hard to achieve what we've achieved over the last few months. And many of those people are in the public service, many of them are in the private sector, and many of them have been those essential workers that, in particular, made many sacrifices while we were in lockdown to keep the rest of us, help keep the rest of us safe. But actually, the reason we are where we are today, and maybe have done better than we might have hoped, is because New Zealanders acted together in our collective interests, and we will need to continue to do that. And my final point is to the question, the inevitable question is, could we have come down through the alert levels faster? I would just simply say we have come down faster and sooner and in a stronger position than any other country. Yes, we have been cautious, but we have not been overcautious, and that cautiousness has been part of our success.
What was your immediate reaction when you heard there were no active cases of COVID-19 remaining in New Zealand?
I did a little dance. Definitely not. I showed Neve. She was caught a little by surprise, but she joined in, having absolutely no idea why I was dancing around the lounge, but enjoying it nonetheless.
Yourself, Dr. Bloomfield?
I'm not quite as good a dancer as the Prime Minister.
You have no evidence to base that on.
Well, my children, I'm sure, would opine on that. But I did, I've been described by one commentator this week as intense, but I did allow myself a broad smile.